Hey, wake up, bitch.
It's a stunning video uncovered months ago. The officer who sounded the alarm about what he calls a cover-up was arrested today.
Joliet Police Sergeant Javier Escueda walked out of the Kendall County Jail this afternoon. Escueda is the man who blew the whistle on the death of Eric Lurie and his treatment in the back of a police squad. He alleged his department tried to cover up the video, and now Escueda faces felony charges and could spend up to 5 years in prison.
Seeing that video was so disturbing, I cried. Every day having to live with that was a hard thing, knowing that this administration was probably going to do nothing about it.
So he was suffocating?
In my opinion, anybody would suffocate in that situation.
You believe wholeheartedly that there was an attempt to cover all this up?
Yes, I do. 100%. I did the right thing. I'm a good, honest cop.
Are you concerned? Do you fear that they're going to come after you?
Only person I fear is God.
Now his wife, Madeline Escueda, called her husband a hero. His attorney, Jeff Tomczak, says he plans on filing a federal whistleblower lawsuit against the Joliet Police Department. And I spoke to Eric Lurie's widow, Nicole, today. I told her about his arrest, and she was stunned.
Now, I did a video about sundown towns in Illinois. Joliet is about, excuse me, about 4 hours, 4.5 hours away from there. Could that be a sundown town? Because as a black man, even being legit out here, we all know what it feels like when these red and blue lights are behind you. It's a stressful situation. Even if you got everything and all your ducks in order, it's a stressful situation. Now, the way they did this, man, it should be broadcasted all over the news media, but it's not. You don't hear anything about it. Now, I hear that these officers have been removed from duty, but that's not enough. See, this is why they don't want to give us a hate crime bill, because with the hate crime bill, they won't be allowed to get away with things like this. It's shameful that we have to sit back, and watch these things happen to us all the time. If these were black officers doing this to a white gentleman, they would show us exactly how to respond to this situation. They would need to get permission from anyone to seek revenge. Now, I know you might say, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. That phrase is only deemed for the coward. Only the coward lives by that. And as long as we remain silent, these things will continue to happen to us as a people. This man was suffocated in the back. You saw the cop putting his finger over his nose to stop him from breathing. Slapping him in his face. Wake up, bitch. And this is an officer of the law. But we know that means nothing, especially when you look like me. So what do we do in this situation? Do we just sit back and continue to wait for the next victim? What do we do? Because as I said in my previous video, there's no help. We have no protection. Not even the Nation of Islam is protecting us. The fruit of Islam, no protection. The government is not protecting us. So what should we do? What should we do? Black people, talk to me. Talk to me. There comes a time where you have to stand up and protect yourself. The Constitution says we have the right to defend ourselves. But we refuse to do that. Only with one another. The only time we will defend ourselves is if it's another black person doing harm. That makes no sense, people. Every other race has their crash outs. We got them too, but we only crash out on each other. We only crash out on each other. Now, I haven't had these blue and red lights pull up behind me in years. It's been years. And the last time I was riding dirty. I know what that feels like. Your heart get to pounding. Damn. Especially if you, in Cali, not so much. But out here, if I was in the South, when I was doing that, I don't know how I'd behave. I don't know. Because these niggas out here scared of everybody except each other. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. To see this right here and it's not broadcasted all over the news. We don't know nothing about these officers. Had they been black officers, they would have delved into their parents' criminal activities. They would have told you who their grandfather was that used to bootleg alcohol. They would have showed America how these, if they were black, how these black officers came from a long line of criminals. This is why we have no hate crime bill. Because America don't believe that black people deserve protection. And apparently we don't either. Because we don't do nothing. We don't do nothing. Holler at me. Talk to me. Am I tripping? Is this a coincidence? Because whatever his crime was, I believe it was robbery or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But to be placed in the back seat and have that done to you, in order for them to suffocate him like that, it seemed like you would have to be paralyzed, because when you can't breathe, the body will not sit still. You'd be moving all over the place. You see? I don't know. I don't know. But this is America. How are we supposed to feel? That could be me. That could have been my father. That could have been one of my brothers. It could have been a loved one, period. Right? But yet, we have to sit back and watch it happen. Just as our brother Robert Brooks was killed by correctional officers in New York. We have to sit back and watch it. And I believe it's a strategic plan to leak these videos so we can see it. Just so we can see that we have no protection. There's nobody that's going to protect you. But hey, guess what? Nature has a way of correcting itself. You don't always, one day the rabbit gets the gun. One day the rabbit gets the gun. And it's never fun. It's never fun. Just as I stated, in order for this to stop, as many caskets flow through our communities, it has to be even Steven. It has to be even Steven. Comment. Let me know what y'all think. Should we just sit by and be sitting ducks, waiting for our turn? Or should we organize and do something? Are we allowed to do that as black people? Are we allowed equal protection under the law? It don't seem like it. Talk to me.